What you, dear listener, are about to hear contains valuable and reliable insights that can greatly support your growth and self-development in all areas of life. We hope this message has reached you at just the right time so that you can understand it, apply it, and experience the positive results for yourself.
Every success we pursue and every goal we set is ultimately something we want to see appear in the real physical world around us. In essence, we are trying to take an abstract idea and make it concrete, to turn something that exists only in potential into something that exists in reality. But to do that, we must first understand how our world works. How does anything move from being just a thought to becoming part of the world we experience? Let's begin with a simple division. The world can be understood as having two sides: the visible and the invisible. The visible world is the physical space around us, the one where we want our dreams to come true. The invisible world is much larger. It includes the realm of thoughts, ideas, and imagination. It's from this unseen space that our fears, desires, and dreams arise, and eventually, many of them take shape in the physical world. So here's a key question. Which of these two worlds is more significant? Which one gives rise to the other, the visible or the invisible? And which one allows us to access the other? When we really look at how things happen in life, we see something important. Everything that exists in our physical reality once existed first as a thought. A tall building didn't appear out of nowhere. It started as an idea in someone's mind. The same goes for airplanes, books, computers, everything we've built and created. If we trace anything far enough back, we'll find it all began as a concept, a mental image, before becoming something real. From this, we learn something powerful. The invisible realm is not only more fundamental, it's actually the source of everything in the visible world. And this principle doesn't apply just to human inventions. It extends to the entire universe. We'll explore that more deeply in future episodes, especially when we dive into theology and the nature of creation. Now that we understand the invisible has a higher order of influence, the next question is, how can we use this invisible space, the world within us, to shape our outer visible lives? Does everything we imagine or feel eventually become real? The answer is yes. Or more precisely, it can become real. Everything that exists in our inner world carries the potential to appear in the outer world, but only if it follows the right principles. There are laws and mechanisms that must be respected. Without alignment to those laws, the unseen cannot manifest into the seen. Some may argue that the invisible doesn't exist at all, that only the physical world is real. To those views we say, there are strong and well-reasoned arguments that support the existence of a greater non-material dimension. We won't dive deep into that debate here, but rest assured, we'll address it thoroughly in future episodes. Our thoughts, emotions, and inner visions all belong to this subtle, invisible world that we often overlook. We tend to think that the visible world is entirely separate from what happens in our minds, but that's not quite true. Both the visible and invisible are part of one unified reality. They simply exist in different states. One is dense and physical, the other is more subtle, less tangible, but still very real. A useful way to think about it is with the example of water and steam. They are the same substance, just in different forms. When water molecules are tightly packed, we see it as a liquid. When they spread out, it becomes vapor, still present, but invisible to the eye. This is the same relationship between the visible and the invisible. The unseen is simply the seen in a more refined or subtle form. Reality is one, we divide it only based on how we perceive it. Now let's consider ourselves. We too exist in both realms. Our physical bodies belong to the visible world. We experience life through our five senses. But at the same time, we have a vivid mental world filled with thoughts, ideas, and inner images that no one else can see, but which are very real to us. In fact, we are the bridge between the two worlds. Here's an example. You can invent a completely new word in your mind. You can hear it internally and even know what it means. In that moment, it's real, but only to you. Now, if you say it out loud, others hear it, and it becomes part of their experience too. It has crossed over from the invisible to the visible. That's the power we hold, the ability to transform thought into reality. This is how we manifest our inner world. Whatever we consistently think about, whether it's beautiful or painful, empowering or limiting, if we focus on it long enough and act in alignment with it, we bring it into existence. We give birth to it through our actions. This is why fear can be so powerful. If a fear dominates your inner world, chances are high that you'll eventually experience it in real life. But the same is true of dreams. When we deeply believe in something and stay focused on it, we move toward making it real. So it becomes clear we occupy a powerful and valuable position in existence. We have the ability to create from within, to give form to our thoughts. The challenge is, many people, out of a lack of awareness, end up creating what they don't want, and then suffer the consequences. Others, who are more intentional and self-aware, create what they do want and live lives that reflect those choices. And that is the purpose of this program, to help you recognize the power of your position and to show you how to use it clearly, consciously, and deliberately to create a life that truly reflects your highest vision. In the coming episodes, we'll also explore the inner obstacles that often block this creative process. Together, we'll examine them step by step with clarity, logic, and practical tools to help you move beyond them.
And what you've just listened to was a small part of the teachings of Seyedsaeid Taghavizadeh, a single piece in a much bigger puzzle designed to guide you toward your goals. If this message resonated with you, we gently encourage you to start from the very first episode of this series. Everything is connected. Each part builds on the one before it, and your questions will find their answers as you move forward. We'll also be dedicating special episodes to the most frequently asked questions. Saeed's teachings dive deep into the essential laws that shape our lives, from universal principles to the power of the mind and beliefs, to the laws of money and abundance, relationships, health, and ultimately, the most important dimension of all, understanding the divine. These insights have already touched the lives of thousands in the Persian-speaking world, with millions of views and remarkably high satisfaction. Now it's your turn. We hope you'll stay with us episode by episode and witness for yourself how, through clear thinking and conscious awareness, the path to a better life reveals itself, and how once found it can be walked with peace, power, and purpose. Until next time, keep growing, keep questioning, and never stop seeking.